Welcome to Penny Collector, the channel where we explore the fascinating world of coins, their history, and their values in today's market. Whether you are a beginner just starting to look at the change in your pocket, or an experienced collector who loves studying every detail of coins, this is the place for you. In today's video, we are going to focus on the United States 1-cent coin from 1994, also known as the penny. At first glance, this coin might look like any other ordinary cent, but when we look closely at its design, production history, and condition, we can discover that it has much more to tell us. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how much a 1994 penny in good condition can be worth in dollars in today's coin market. The 1994 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 all the way to 2008. On the front of the coin, known as the obverse, you can see the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His portrait has been on the penny since 1909, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coin history. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust," and on the left-hand side of the coin is the word Liberty. To the right, you will find the date, 1994, and just below the year may be a small mint mark. If you see the letter D, the coin was minted in Denver. If no mint mark appears, then the coin came from Philadelphia. On the back of the coin, known as the reverse, you will see the Lincoln Memorial, which was first introduced in 1959. At the top is written United States of America, and just below that the motto E pluribus unum. At the bottom of the reverse, you will see the denomination written clearly as 1 cent. The production of the 1994 penny was massive, which is common for modern cents. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 6.5 billion coins, while the Denver Mint produced over 4 billion. Combined, that is well over 10 billion pennies minted in a single year. Because of these high numbers, most 1994 pennies are not considered rare. For the majority of people, they are simply worth 1 cent in circulation. However, condition makes all the difference in the world of coin collecting. If your 1994 penny is in circulated condition, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions and shows some wear, it is typically worth between 1 and 5 cents. Collectors may pay a small premium above face value when they need one for a set. But if you have an uncirculated 1994 penny, one that has never been used and still... Next up, we are going to take a closer look at the United States 1-cent coin from the year 2000. While most people may see the 2000 penny as just another small piece of change, collectors know that even ordinary-looking coins can sometimes hold hidden value. By the end of this video, you will understand the history of the 2000 penny, how to identify its features, and how much it is worth in today's coin market, depending on condition and rarity. The 2000 penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 through 2008. On the obverse side of the coin, or the front, you will see the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, which has been a fixture on the 1-cent coin since 1909. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word Liberty, and to the right is the date, 2000. Just below the year may be a mint mark, showing where the coin was struck. If the coin has no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. If there is a D, it came from Denver, and if there is an S, it was struck in San Francisco as a proof coin intended for collectors. On the reverse side of the coin, you will find the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959. At the top of the coin are the words United States of America. Beneath that, the motto E pluribus unum, and at the bottom, the denomination 1 cent. If you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial, you can even see a tiny representation of Lincoln seated inside, making this one of the few coins to show the same individual on both sides. The mintage numbers for the 2000 penny are extremely large, which is typical of modern Lincoln cents. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 5.5 billion pennies, while the Denver Mint produced over 8.7 billion, making the total circulation strike for the year more than 14 billion coins. In addition, the San Francisco Mint produced over 3 million proof coins for collectors. With more than 14 billion coins released into circulation, the 2000 penny is not rare. However, as with all coins, condition is the key factor in determining value. If you have a 2000 penny in circulated condition, which means it has been used in transactions and shows wear, it is usually only worth its face value of 1 cent. Some collectors may pay a few cents more for particularly nice examples in circulated grades, but generally these are very common. If your penny is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used and still shines with its original mint luster, the value can be higher. An uncirculated 2000 penny from Philadelphia or Denver can range from 25 cents to $2 depending on the grade. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC often certify these coins, and the highest grades, Mint State 67 or above, can sometimes sell for $20, $50, or more if the coin has exceptional eye appeal. Proof pennies from the San Francisco Mint also hold extra value. These coins were specially struck for collectors with mirror-like fields and frosted details. A typical 2000S proof penny can be worth $1 to $5, but high-grade certified examples, especially those designated as Deep Cameo or Proof 70, can be worth much more, sometimes reaching into the tens or even hundreds of dollars. Error coins from the year 2000 can also be extremely valuable. Collectors are always on the lookout for striking mistakes, such as off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These kinds of errors are much rarer than regular strikes and can sell for anywhere from $10 to several $100 depending on the type and severity of the error. For example, a dramatic off-center strike showing only part of Lincoln's portrait can be worth a significant premium, while a double-die obverse with noticeable doubling on the date or lettering can fetch strong collector interest. It is also important to note that the 2000 penny is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. Since mid-1982, the United States Mint has struck pennies with a zinc core covered in copper, because the cost of making pennies out of solid copper became too high. This means that your 2000 penny weighs 2.5 grams and has very little actual copper content. However, transitional errors do exist, where coins were mistakenly struck on older copper planchets, and these can be extremely valuable if discovered. So what is the value of a 2000 United States 1-cent coin in today's coin market? To summarize, most circulated examples are worth only 1 cent, although some collectors may pay up to 5 cents for nice circulated pieces. Uncirculated coins can range in value from about 25 cents to $2, depending on the grade. Certified high-grade coins in Mint State 67 or higher can sell for $20 to $50 or more if the coin has exceptional eye appeal. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are generally worth $1 to $5, while the highest quality proof coins can be valued much higher, sometimes reaching into the tens or even hundreds of dollars. Error coins from the year 2000 can also be extremely valuable. Collectors are always on the lookout for striking mistakes, such as off-center strikes, double dies, broad strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. These kinds of errors are much rarer than regular strikes and can sell for anywhere from $10 to several $100, depending on the type and severity of the error. For example, a dramatic off-center strike showing only part of Lincoln's portrait can be worth a significant premium, while a double-die obverse with noticeable doubling on the date or lettering can fetch strong collector interest. It is also important to note that the 2000 penny is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. Since mid-1982, the United States Mint has struck pennies with a zinc core covered in copper, because the cost of making pennies out of solid copper became too high. This means that your 2000 penny weighs 2.5 grams and has very little actual copper content. However, transitional errors do exist where coins were mistakenly struck on older copper planchets, and these can be extremely valuable if discovered. Next up, we are going to talk about the United States 1-cent coin from the year 1999. At first glance, a 1999 penny may look like just another ordinary coin that you might find in your pocket change. But when you take a closer look, you'll discover fascinating details about its history, design, production, and its place in today's coin market. By the end of this video, you will know how much a 1999 penny in good condition is worth in dollars today, and why some examples are worth much more than their face value. The 1999 penny is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which was minted from 1959 until 2008. On the obverse, or front, you will find the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait has been on the U.S. penny since 1909, making it one of the most recognizable and longest-used designs in American coinage. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust." To the left of his portrait is the word "Liberty," and to the right is the year, 1999. Just below the date, you may also see a mint mark. If the coin was minted in Philadelphia, there will be no mint mark. If it came from Denver, you will see a small letter D. There were no San Francisco business strike pennies in 1999, but proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint and marked with an S. On the reverse side of the coin is the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Above the memorial is the inscription, "United States of America," with the motto, "A pluribus unum," written below it, and at the bottom is the denomination, 1 cent. In terms of production, the 1999 penny was struck in very large numbers, as is common with modern 1-cent coins. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 5.2 billion coins, while the Denver Mint struck around 6.3 billion, making the total circulation mintage for the year more than 11.5 billion pennies. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint produced over 3 million proof coins, specifically for collectors. Because of such a massive mintage, most 1999 pennies remain very common, and the majority are still only worth their face value of 1 cent in circulation. However, the condition of a coin can dramatically influence its value to collectors. If you have a 1999 penny in good circulated condition, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions but still shows clear details, it will usually only be worth about 1 cent to maybe 5 cents. Collectors may pay a little more for coins that are especially clean and attractive even in circulated grades. On the other hand, if your penny is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been spent and still shines with its original mint luster, it can be worth more. An uncirculated 1999 penny from Philadelphia or Denver might be valued at 25 cents to $2 depending on the grade. The most pristine examples, those graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as Mint State 67 or higher, can sell for significantly more, sometimes $20 to $50 or beyond, especially if the coin has beautiful eye appeal. Error coins from 1999 can also be highly valuable. Because billions were struck, mistakes during production were possible, and collectors are always on the lookout for these unusual examples. Some known errors include off-center strikes, double-die obverses, broad strikes, and coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. A dramatic error coin can transform a common 1-cent piece into a collectible worth anywhere from $10 to hundreds of dollars depending on the error type and rarity. Proof coins from San Francisco can also hold higher value, especially if they are graded as Deep Cameo or Perfect Proof 70, where they can fetch strong premiums at auction. It's also important to note that the 1999 penny is made primarily of zinc with a thin copper plating. Since 1982, the U.S. Mint transitioned from making pennies out of mostly copper to making them with a zinc core coated in copper because of rising copper costs. This means that the 1999 penny, like all modern cents after 1982, is not made of solid copper, but still maintains the same size, weight, and design. Collectors sometimes search through 1990s pennies looking for unusual transitional errors, such as coins accidentally struck on older copper planchets, which can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So what is the value of the 1999 United States penny in today's coin market? To summarize, in circulated condition, these coins are generally worth between 1 and 5 cents. In uncirculated condition, their value ranges from 25 cents to $2, depending on the coin's quality. Certified high-grade examples can bring $20 or more, while rare error coins can command prices from tens to hundreds of dollars. Proof coins from San Francisco can be worth $2 to $5 on average, with perfect graded proofs worth considerably more. The 1999 penny may not be rare, but it is still an important piece of U.S. coinage history, representing the last years of the 20th century and the final decade of the Lincoln Memorial design before it was replaced in 2009. Every penny has a story, and every collector adds value to that story by preserving and studying these coins. Whether your 1999 penny is a simple circulated piece or a rare error, it is part of a tradition that stretches back more than a century and connects millions of collectors around the world. Next up, we will take a closer look at the United States 1-cent coin from the year 2001, better known as the Lincoln penny. While this coin may look ordinary at first glance, it holds interesting details about America's coinage at the beginning of the 21st century. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how much a 2001 penny in good condition is worth in dollars today, and why some examples can be worth much more than their face value. The 2001 penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 to 2008. On the obverse side, or the front, you will find the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, originally designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909 for the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Above his head are the words, "In God We Trust." To the left of his profile is the word "Liberty," and to the right is the year, 2001. Just beneath the year, you may also find a mint mark. If the coin has no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. If there is a D, it was struck in Denver. And if there is an S, it was produced at the San Francisco Mint as a proof coin for collectors. On the reverse side of the coin is the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gaspareau. This iconic image includes the inscriptions United States of America at the top, A Pluribus Unum just above the memorial, and 1 cent boldly at the bottom. When it comes to mintage, the year 2001 saw an enormous production of pennies, which is typical for modern coinage. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 6.6 billion coins, and the Denver Mint struck more than 5.3 billion, for a combined total of well over 11 billion pennies released into circulation. In addition, the San Francisco Mint produced over 3 million proof pennies for collectors. With such massive numbers, the 2001 penny is not rare in general, and most examples are still only worth their face value. However, as always, condition and rarity of errors can change the value dramatically. If you have a 2001 penny in circulated condition, meaning it has been used in everyday transactions and shows typical wear, it is generally worth only 1 cent. Sometimes especially clean examples may bring up to 5 cents from a collector who needs it for a set, but most circulated coins are common. In uncirculated condition, meaning the coin has never been used and retains its full mint luster, the value increases. A typical 2001 penny can range from about 25 cents to $2 depending on the grade. The highest graded coins certified by professional services such as PCGS or NGC as mint state 67 or above can reach much higher values, sometimes selling for $20, $30, or even $50 if they are flawless with strong eye appeal. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are also of interest to collectors. These coins were specially struck with a high-quality finish and were never intended for circulation. A typical 2001 S proof penny is worth between $1 and $5, but high-grade deep cameo proofs can be worth considerably more. A perfect proof 70 coin certified by a grading service can sell for much higher prices at auctions, making them a prized addition to any Lincoln Cent collection. Error coins from 2001 are where things get especially interesting. Because billions of pennies were struck that year, mistakes occasionally occurred during the minting process, creating rare varieties that collectors seek. Common errors include off-center strikes, double die obverses or reverses, and broad strikes. There are also examples of 2001 pennies struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as a dime planchet. These error coins can range in value from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars, depending on how dramatic and rare the mistake is. For example, a simple off-center strike might sell for $20 to $50, while a rare double die or wrong planchet error could be worth hundreds. It is also important to understand the metal composition of the 2001 penny. Like all U.S. 1-cent coins struck after mid-1982, the 2001 penny has a zinc core with a thin copper plating. It weighs 2.5 grams and has very little copper content compared to earlier pennies. This change was made in the 1980s because copper prices rose too high for the mint to continue producing solid copper coins. This is why pennies from the 2000s are not sought after for their metal value, but mainly for their collectible condition or errors. So, how much is a 2001 1-cent coin worth in today's market? To summarize, most circulated examples are worth 1 to 5 cents at best. Uncirculated coins can be worth between 25 cents and $2 depending on quality. High-grade certified examples can be worth $20 or more. Proof coins from San Francisco are generally worth $1 to $5, with the highest quality proofs worth much more. Error coins, depending on the type and rarity, can range anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s, making them the most valuable versions of the 2001 penny. The 2001 penny is a fascinating coin because it represents America's coinage at the beginning of a new century. Even though most are common and found in everyday change, the special ones, whether uncirculated, proof, or errors, hold real value to collectors. Every coin tells a story, and the 2001 penny tells the story of the Lincoln Cent as it entered its final decade before the design would change in 2009 to honor Lincoln's bicentennial. Thank you for watching Penny Collector, where we bring you detailed guides about pennies and other coins from the United States and around the world. If you enjoyed learning about the 2001 1-cent coin and its value in today's market, be sure to subscribe for more videos about coin values, collecting tips, and history. Remember, in the world of coin collecting, every penny counts.